One of the things that we often discouraged our children from saying was, that's not fair. But we do have to admit that there are some things that happen in life that puzzle us, and because of the inequity of the events, we really do wonder about it. In fact, Solomon addresses this in Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 14. He says, there is a vanity which occurs on earth, that there are just men to whom it happens according to the work of the wicked, and again, there are wicked men to whom it happens according to the work of the righteous. I said this also is vanity. He begins and ends the verse by saying this is vanity. This is something that is a futility. And he says that a good man does good things, but he has wicked consequences. And then a wicked man does wicked things, and he has good consequences. And he says he couldn't square that away, and it was troubling to him. And no doubt it's troubling to each and every one of us. When you flip back in your Bible to the 73rd Psalm, you'll read a psalm there that's rather an extensive discussion kind of revolving around this whole idea that we're talking about. And the psalmist says about that in verse 12, behold, these are ungodly, who are always at ease and always increase their riches. Notice he says the ungodly, they're at ease. They increase their riches. And then he says about himself, surely I have cleansed my heart and washed my hands in vain. For all day long I have been plagued and chastened every morning. He's saying there's an inequity here. The wicked people are getting off easy. And I'm having all this difficulty even though I have clean hands and a clean heart. But then he thinks about it some more, just like you and I need to think about it some more. Sometimes it hits us hard in the face when it's so very obvious that that's the case. But when he thinks about it some more, he goes on to say, when I thought how to understand this, it was too painful for me. And indeed, sometimes circumstances like this can be painful. But then you read the next verse, Psalm 73, verse 17. Until, it was too painful for me until I went into the sanctuary of God. And then I understood their end. You see, this life, sometimes as inequitable as it can be, sometimes as incongruent as things seem to happen, this life is not the end of our life. And that there is an end, there is a judgment day coming. And even though the wicked may seem to prosper now, there's a day coming when all of that will be judged and all of that will be rewarded to them, so to speak, based on the life they have lived. You see, we don't serve God just to see what we can get from Him. We don't serve God just to say, you know, I've served God, so now I got all these great things. We serve God even when that doesn't happen, because He is worthy.